Went to see the new Avatar yesterday.
Oh yeah.
Missed the first half of the match because I...
Oh right. I thought you were going to say missed the first half of
No,
Avatar.
I missed
That's spectacularly late.
I missed the first half of the match because I hadn't allowed for quite how long Avatar was. So we were debating whether to go at 6 or whether to go at 2. And I was like, well, I just hadn't considered the film we were going to see.
Yeah.
And I was like, 2.5, 4, so 2's fine. And then I was like, actually, no, it's 3 hours for 15 minutes or something.
Is it?
Yeah. So it was just turned half time when the credits rolled.
Right.
I turned my phone on and found out it was
1-1.
But yeah, Avatar's pretty good if you like obvious nonsense with spectacle, you know.
Yeah, I've seen the first one, but I don't know. I'm
not for you.
I've missed it at the cinema, and the second one I missed at the cinema, and I just don't believe there's much point in watching them not at the cinema.
I mean, they are an experience at the cinema. I do think that. I did watch the second one not in the cinema, but mainly because I knew if I didn't watch the second one, then I wouldn't be able to watch the third one in the cinema.
Yeah.
And I like them. I think they are sort of nonsense. The dialogue is dreadful.
Yeah.
Like, utterly. I think they must have had a note, because in the second one, they add a load of kids because Jake's been on the planet for like 15 years or something.
Yeah.
Because that's how long it was between the films. So they add a load of kids, and they've all got weird Navi names, and no one could tell who anyone was, or because they're all like, you can tell the adults apart better, but the kids are all like quite similar looking.
Yeah.
So they just call each other bro and cuz and sis the whole film, which is weird because they're speaking an alien language, but you can understand. There's like a thing where you can understand. They transition to having them speak English in the second one. But they just call each other cuz and stuff. Is weird, but it does help to keep track of who's who. It's a useful technique at the sacrificing some quality in dialogue to make you be able to follow what's going on.
Yeah. I mean, 3 hours 15 is longer than surely any film needs to be. Was there any? I mean, obviously it's so visually striking.
Yeah.
Did you feel at any point like they could have lost any bits, or was every? Of the 195 minutes, every single one was...
You spend the whole film knowing how long it is and knowing that you're going to get to a point where there's going to be 45 minutes left and there's going to be a huge battle.
Yeah.
And you could have written it in a way that doesn't have a huge battle at the end. But if you're going to have a huge battle at the end, then having 2 hours of plot before that is fine, I think.
Yeah.
I think a more conservative and perhaps more skilled filmmaker would have this one end, because the last two end in big battles. The big battle at the end of this one is remarkably similar to the big battle at the end of the second one.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
But it's, if you're going to have a big battle at the end, because the whole film's about spectacle and size, and you want to have, good versus evil, then I don't think there's necessarily an issue with, because you could sort of, it's not 3.5 hours of hard work. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not
just
The Godfather.
It's blue people.
Yeah, it's really easy to follow now that they've changed all the characters' names to their relationship to each other. I just really like the world building. I think world building is my favourite thing in media, basically. I love the world building. That's why I like Game of Thrones. That's why I like Star Wars.
Yeah.
That's why I like Harry Potter less, because I think it's bad world building.
Yeah, definitely.
But I think Avatar's great world building.
Yeah.
I think the next one will get like snow avatars, I think, maybe. So
we've had done water,
fire. We had the forest sort of flying ones in the first one.
Yeah.
So I think maybe either mud underground ones or snow ones.
Yeah. There's two more at least. So
yeah, I think the titles might be out actually, but I don't know what they are.
The Way of Mud.
Yeah. That'd be great.
Yeah. Well, when I've got 5.5 hours to spare, I might watch the last two.
That's not long enough.
they're
all over 3 hours.
No, the first one's not over 3 hours, is it?
Maybe, but the second and third one are.
Okay, so when I've got 6.5 hours to spare, maybe I'll whack them on.
Yeah.
Hello and welcome back to Red Army Reaction, where we're both full of Christmas cheer after a week away.
Yeah, as you can imagine.
Two very good results for United to talk about.
Yeah. We said at the start of this run that I said that I think this run will be more informative than the run, because everyone was talking about our fixture schedule getting easier. I don't think Villa is an easy game. Bournemouth aren't playing well at the moment. The fixture list has gotten easier.
Yeah.
But as with this United team are on such a knife edge that you go from a week ago being, 1 loss in 8 games to now 2 wins in 9 games. And these things can both be true, but they're just so inconsistent.
Consistency, yeah. 2 games that we played quite well in, I would say. Just specifically in attack, we created loads of good chances, played some nice football. The team seemed to gel a lot better than they have.
Yeah.
And yet we've got 1 point.
I know, it's crazy. The Villa game to not come away with anything is particularly galling. I think drawing with Bournemouth at home is obviously not a good result, but that game was such chaos that just getting out of, we could have easily lost that game as well as won it.
I would have been more alright with a draw against Bournemouth if we'd have beaten Everton and West Ham at home.
Yeah.
But when we didn't win either of them, we went into that Bournemouth game like this is a must win now. We've not won our last 2 home games. And then we didn't. We played. I thought first half at Bournemouth, because obviously we didn't do an episode last week, so we'll talk about both games. First half at home against Bournemouth, we played really well. Yeah,
one of the best we've played this season, I think. Like you say, it gelled, clicked.
Yeah. Cunha and Mbemo, I thought were both.
Yeah. Good. I thought we would regret going in at half time only 1-0 up.
1 goal up.
Well, no, about 5 minutes
yeah.
before half time, I thought we're going to regret if we go in at 1-0 up.
Yeah.
And then we regretted it in the first half, but then we managed to get back ahead. So, first half, it was an interesting half.
Yeah.
We labour to score, I think. It's hard work creating chances.
Yeah.
We're not easy to defend against. That's been true of United teams in the past, probably earlier this season even, that we are easy to defend against. That isn't the case. No team
we're
comes
creating problems for defenders.
Yeah, no team is comfortable defending against us at the moment.
Since the Everton game.
No, yeah. That was just West Ham worked hard and defended well.
Yeah,
and we should have scored more goals. Bournemouth didn't defend well, and we conceded a load of chances, and we scored comfortably, and we got a load.
Yeah.
We're not an easy team to defend against. We are a very easy team to attack against.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it was a lot of hard work to create the chances we did, but we deserved to score the goals that we did because our quality justified it.
Yeah. But I thought at half time in that game we should have been 2 or 3 goals up based on the balance of play, and we were 1 goal up.
Yeah. And no clean sheet as well. We'd let them into the game.
Yeah. Going in 1 goal up, but given that we'd scored right before half time, I thought we might come out the second half and go and take the game to them and get that 2-goal lead or whatever. But then 5 minutes into the half, we
were 3-2
found
down.
ourselves behind, which is remarkable. How quickly that happened.
Yeah, the stadium couldn't really comprehend it, I don't think.
Yeah.
The vibe, the atmosphere was after every Bournemouth goal, the atmosphere was sort of bafflement as opposed to anger or annoyance. It was like, what's just happened again? And that was for all 4 Bournemouth goals, I think.
Yeah, because, and I'll say this again when we talk about the Villa game, they didn't really create much outside of those 4 goals. They all came out of nowhere. We were comfortable at 1-0, and then all of a sudden they scored, and then we managed to get back ahead in front of before half time, and it was, okay, that's good. We're in the lead at half time. Let's go and get the 3 points. And then, like you say, just shock that all of a sudden, from nothing, they were in front.
Yeah. I think there is. I think it indicates a fundamental flaw with this United team, either the system, the personnel, the coaching decisions. But we've got 2 clean sheets in the league in
1, isn't it?
This season, but 2 in about a year, I think.
Right.
Clean, I think the phrase "attack wins you games and defense wins you titles" is often overwrought and can lead to sort of putting way too much weight on defending.
Yeah, it's an easy thing to say.
Yeah,
it sounds good,
but I think there is truth in it to the fact that bad defense means you won't ever win anything. I think no team has. You've had teams win trophies, or certainly win large numbers of games defending well and not creating that much and taking their chances. But I don't know of a team that has won anything by just outscoring the opposition every time.
Well, I think you could maybe get an FA Cup win or a cup win.
Yeah, Possibly, but we haven't seen one for a long time. When a team that's actually bad at defending wins something,
Did we do it under Ten Hag? We conceded 3 in the quarterfinal, 3 in the semi-final.
Yeah, possibly. We would have lost that final though if we hadn't.
Yeah, we
played
did.
more
We were
defensively.
capable of defending well, which we don't seem to be at the minute.
Yeah, I think I think you can't win things with a bad defense, and I don't think it's just the personnel. I think that would be dismissive and is United's favourite way of looking at the team, which is we're not scoring enough goals. We need better attackers. We're not keeping enough clean sheets. We need better defenders.
Yeah,
there's got to be a whole team effort to keep clean sheets, and it's not happening at the moment. Every attack looks like it's going to go in.
Yeah. We've definitely missed De Ligt and Maguire. To miss both of those at the same time because they're similar profiles of player. You are going to be worse at defending when that happens.
Absolutely.
If you're missing both of those two. But like you say, it shouldn't be all on the personnel. If you get a couple of injuries and you play really badly, it's not. A couple of players can't make you from a bad team into a good team.
No. And maybe you know, of the 6 goals we've conceded this week, maybe 2 of them were because of naive defending. Maybe 3 of them.
Yeah.
I think the Villa goals could have been defended better because they were quite standoffish. We didn't close them down. Respected Morgan Rogers too much, and knowing the sort of form he's in and the sort of player he is, that's suicide really.
Yeah.
But there's not really been. I think maybe the Everton goal was individual quality that could have been better from the defence. But I don't think it's we're conceding so many goals. We've conceded, but if you look at goals per game, I think we're 5th in the league for most conceded.
Yeah.
Bear in mind, one of those above us is the worst Premier League side of all time.
Yeah.
Wolves, Burnley, Leeds, I think maybe Bournemouth.
Maybe Spurs. I think
No,
Spurs are down there in some statistics.
Yeah, but they had a run where they were quite pragmatic and boring for a while, which does help for defending.
Yeah.
But until we fundamentally fix how easy we are to attack, I don't see how we can put runs together of good form. Because obviously, win 2 or 3 and then you can go on a run. But when every time, you have to get so insanely lucky with our team to do that any team that shows up that's in half decent form attacking wise is going to score multiple goals. And if you're conceding multiple goals, you can't put a run together. You need to be able to grind out a win every now and then.
Yeah. You can't reliably score 3 goals every game
when
you're also conceding 2 goals every game.
Yeah, absolutely not.
It's not viable. And it's a big thing that's plagued our team, some would say, since Roy Keane left, which is not true, that we don't have a very good defensive midfielder in the team.
No.
You could look at the first Morgan Rogers goal and a lot of goals we've conceded this season where there's just no one there on the edge of the box doing that job.
Yeah.
Certainly yesterday with Casemiro being out and Ugarte not being very good. To be blunt, he's not very good. He's not very good on the ball, and I don't know what he is good at. Gary Neville said in commentary he's not very good on the ball, which was quite, I thought, surprising to hear a commentator say, but also it's very generous to Ugarte to say he's not very good on the ball.
Yeah, because it implies that
he is on the ball.
It implies that he's good at other things, which there's very little evidence to suggest he is.
Yeah. It's a real shame that Mainu was injured yesterday. It's a uniquely frustrating phenomenon in football where you have a player who knows that they're playing back up to another player, like, say, Harry Kane at Spurs, whoever was their other striker, sits on the bench every game because then you're never dropping Harry Kane. And then he gets an injury and that player's also injured. It's so annoying.
You must be
that's
fuming.
all you're there for.
You must be fuming if you're that player.
Yeah, and Mainu, I'm sure, was absolutely gutted to miss the game.
Yeah, I think he would have made a big difference. He adds a lot of control that we just don't have any of. Certainly not without Casemiro. Casemiro's not bad at it and recycles the ball reasonably well, but Mainu is a sort of specialist at it, and that's just something that good teams do, is control games in midfield, and it's not something we do.
Yeah, no.
And it doesn't seem to be something we try and do that often.
No.
We're happy to let it go wide and let it go long and sacrifice the midfield. We've got that. I mean, I don't think we can talk about 11 different goals in this, which is what we technically have to cover.
11.
Well, there's 8 in the Bournemouth game and 3 in the Villa game.
I don't know where. I only counted 4 for United Bournemouth. I don't know where I've got
4 each.
Yeah, very bad maths for me there.
But we could talk about but players. I think Cunha getting a goal in each game.
Yeah,
He's finding his shooting boots a bit more now, which is what we needed to see. I would think no United fan was massively dissatisfied with his first couple of months. No one was saying we've wasted a load of money on this guy.
Why is he not scoring more goals?
Yeah, you could see his quality, but there did come to a point where why isn't he showing more, and what can be done to get more out of him?
Because up until last Monday, he'd scored 1 league goal, which isn't very much.
No. Scored a really good goal against Bournemouth. Good movement and a bit of a lucky break that it fell to him in the box, but finished with a plumb.
Yeah, composed.
And similar against Villa, where the ball sort of lands at his feet and he has to show quality. And we've had so many forwards, so many times in the last couple of years where our forwards have had those clear-cut chances and not taken them, and you need people who can reliably take those clear-cut chances. And Cunha has proven to be that last week.
Yeah, he seemed, when we played Wolves away, Cunha got a bit of a bad reception for the way he left Wolves.
Yeah.
And he seemed to be trying really hard
to
score in that game.
Yeah.
It didn't matter in the end because we scored 4 goals. And Wolves are crap and anyone could score against him. But he didn't score, probably just because of the way he was playing. But yesterday, he got some boos from Aston Villa fans because he played for Wolves. But that seemed to spur him on in a good way.
Yeah.
He seemed really on it and really determined to do well, but for the team and not just shooting from everywhere.
No. Yeah, he showed quality, and that's what we signed him for. We needed someone that can come in and be a Premier League ready midfielder, a Premier League ready attacker, and he has proven to be that, I think.
And especially with Bournemouth not here for the next few weeks, we need Cunha to be on it.
Yeah.
He should have scored another one there.
He should have done, It was a great
golden chance to make it 2-2. The first good cross Dorgu's put in since he signed, quite possibly. Dorgu got his first assist
by
in that game, which was a tackle. And he should have had another one.
I think they aggregate out to a one good assist. I think if you say that cross, he did that cross and that tackle and got 1 assist, then that's fine.
Yeah, but he should have got 2 because the cross came afterwards, and Cunha should have been putting that away.
Yeah.
But my other question would be, my first question is how did Cunha miss it? But secondly, why wasn't it Sesko there?
Hadn't Sesko gone off by that point?
No, I don't think so.
I
remember thinking it was Sesko at first and thinking, that's really a bad luck for Sesko because he's had these 2 chances that he's not taken.
Yeah.
He has to be scoring that. But then I was surprised it was Cunha. I'm pretty sure Sesko was still on.
Well, yeah, I think we've not seen... This is the thing with Sesko. He's not missing loads of good chances. He missed a 1-on-1 in this game.
But it wasn't... I think some people were harsh on him. It was a decent chance. The keeper did really well.
Yeah.
You could say he should have scored
not
it,
nailed
but it
on.
wasn't a gilt-edged chance.
No. But he's not missing a load of great chances. But in a way, that's also worrying in that why isn't he getting a load of great chances? Because other players in this team are getting a lot of chances. Cunha, like you say, has had, like 6 or 7 shots in that game, and Sesko's had maybe 2 or 3. It's sort of more worrying that he's not having those chances, and I think that comes down to obviously he's been injured.
Yeah.
So we're looking to see him come back into the team more, and I'm not unhappy with him as a signing. I think I would have rather signed him than any of the other options.
Yeah, I mean Ollie Watkins has only got 1 more league goal than him, and he was the other
and played more.
Yeah.
The one that got away in a way that everyone ridiculed us when the links came out of United might sign a free signing striker.
Yeah.
Calvert-Lewin, he's looking lethal.
Yeah. And I don't think that would have been instead of Sesko. It would have been as
I think
well.
it would have been a great addition as well.
He's got 5 goals in 4 games, or 6 goals in 5 games.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, for a relegation candidate. League.
Yeah.
Could have been a good option.
None of them are world class goals, but he's just picking up.
Have you seen the graph of his goals?
Yeah, they're all
every single one of them is perfectly in the middle of the goal.
Yeah, from the penalty spot to the goal line, just all right there, which is fair play to him.
Absolutely, bread and butter. Sometimes you need a player who's going to stand in the middle of the goal and put it in. And
In Sesko, we haven't created that many of those chances, but that certain strikers are just lethal at finding those gaps.
Yeah.
And
it's an education thing and a coaching thing as well, I think, especially with young players, that you need to... There's some players have an innate ability or sort of a sense for where the goal is, but that's only through coaching.
Is it?
I don't think you are born with...
Some would say you can't coach that goal scoring instinct.
No, but I think you can. I think you can coach every aspect of football. Maybe, I think there is obviously innate ability. I'm not
Yeah.
saying that, but things like movement and positioning and reading of the play, you can absolutely coach, and it's an area that we've talked about United not being at the races really in terms of player development, in terms of identifying weaknesses in players and improving them, and it's something that Šeško, if he's got all the attributes to become a top striker, but he needs educating in how to be a top striker.
Yeah.
And I don't think Calvert-Lewin is, an elite striker, but he has played a lot of games at centre forward and knows where to be, and that's something that there isn't really, and it's a squad management thing as well, as you want an older players learn from players, right? So we are missing a natural centre forward who is established, who knows that role.
Yeah,
it didn't help Højlund. It hasn't helped. It won't help Šeško that there's no one there other than them to do that job.
To score
the
goals.
only person, they can do video coaching and video analysis, but without an actual other striker to work with, then it's very difficult to pick that stuff up.
Yeah,
Amorim's not a striker. I don't think none of the coaches are strikers. None of them have a storied career at number 9. So maybe that's something they could look to bring in a coach that can do that.
If
but
not a player who can do that.
Yeah, I do think that's something they will try and do, is sign another number 9.
Yeah, but then we were linked with Calvert-Lewin in the summer and a couple of other free agents in cheap strikers. And it would have been great for us to sign someone alongside Šeško, but surely we couldn't sign 4 attackers and still not sign a midfielder. Surely we can't in January sign another attacker and not a midfielder.
No, I think
because we're linked with Semenyo for 65 million quid, and surely we can't sign another forward and not a midfielder.
Yeah, I think that comes down to the coach's priorities. In that, I don't think he thinks that having technical midfielders is that important. And I think that comes down to market opportunity as well, because I think they want to sign a big midfielder. They want to spend a lot of money on a midfielder and solve that position, or however they see fit. There's a few names that are floating around.
Yeah.
But that's not going to happen in January. I don't think any of them are going to move in January. So if you can't do that, with the move away from the current squad cost to the squad cost model, we're not going to struggle to have money to spend, I don't think, going forward. So if you can get a player who other teams want and who is a very high quality addition and will help improve the team, it's not going to harm our ability to sign a midfielder in the summer, I don't think, massively.
Right.
And they want to only sign the midfielder that they want as a priority. They don't want to sign a £40 million midfielder who they then have to replace in 6 months anyway.
Like
Agate. I think they're keen to get the next one right. And there's obviously names that we've seen be linked to the club for a long time.
Yeah.
Anderson and Wharton, I think, are the two that the club really like, and Baleba, who's not having a good season. But if they can't get a target, I think they will get a target in another position rather than someone who isn't a target in a position that we need.
Yeah, I do understand that. I don't think they're, like you say, I don't think they're assigning those funds to a forward instead of a midfielder, but we just keep signing forwards.
Yeah, I think another coach could look at this squad and see the midfield position as untenable and needs immediate redressing.
Yeah.
And therefore you would say, it doesn't matter if we can't get our prime target, we just need something better than what we have.
The right profile of player, even if they're not as good.
Even if it's a sort of £30 million who will become a squad rotation player, we need something in there now. But I think the current coaching staff think the midfield's not that important.
It must be the boardroom staff as well who think that.
Or I think
it must be a club strategy, because that's certainly not been the strategy in recent years. And that must come from them as well. They must be working with the manager on that.
We, as a club, sort of massively underinvest in midfield. There was a piece, and some newspaper had like a tally of the last 10 windows of the amounts we spent on. We've signed like 8 midfielders in 10 years, I think, at the same time as signing 22 forwards and 15 defenders. We've signed about 8 midfielders. So it's something we need to address. that with maybe Bruno being injured and Cobby either being injured or leaving, or maybe he's not allowed to leave because Bruno's injured, they may do something. They may bring in, again, like a £25 million midfielder to help get to the end of the season when they can sign their priority. But I don't. Yeah, I see.
I don't think they will. We've been
no,
linked with Conor Gallagher on loan, but I don't really see what he gives us that we don't have.
There's Ruben Neves as well, who would be an interesting option, and he's obviously a quality player, but he's been playing in Saudi for 3 years.
Yeah, I'd be more alright with that than Conor Gallagher.
Yeah, I think so. But
they know better than I do.
Maybe they signed Agate. Lots of teams didn't. Well, we'll see what happens in the window. I think we'll know pretty soon with Semenyo because his release clause is only valid till the 9th.
Yeah.
So someone's going to make a move for him.
Yeah, it looks like currently it seems to be United or City that he'll go to, and it will be up to him because obviously there's no negotiation on the fee.
No,
he's got a release clause, so Bournemouth might as well say, "Well, you can pick."
Yeah, he just takes whichever offer he wants.
Yeah,
I fancy United's chances in getting him. It's not something they've struggled to do.
No, for looking at it. The one way of looking at it is who on earth would join United over City?
Yeah.
But clearly players do.
Yeah,
and players don't just see, well, that team is currently better, so I'll join them.
Yeah, because if it's who would join United over City, it's who would join United over anyone, really, because United is such a basket case. But the ego trip that is, I think, playing in front of 75,000 people every week.
Yeah.
If he speaks to, Cunha, who's gone from playing for Wolves, not similar size club to Bournemouth, historically a bigger club, but a similar caliber of club at the moment, to going from that to playing in front of 75,000 people and going around the world and everyone knowing your name, and it's a different sort of stratosphere. And it's very easy to sell that, I think, to players who are naturally egotists.
Yeah.
You have to be.
Yeah. And there is, I don't want to lean too heavily into this, but there is the whole, Manchester United thing. Yeah. It's that
we've got a few years left of that before it completely runs out of cash.
And the idea of being in the team, the first United team to be good again, that United side that wins the title after however long. Yeah. That is tempting, I think, for any player.
Yeah.
But then a lot of players think, well, that's not going to happen, so I'm not going there.
Yeah, it's not a universal strategy, but for certain types of players, it does work, and they have sold the project successfully to several players so far. So we'll see. It's I don't think Semenyo is gonna massively move the needle because I think we are too rubbish at defending.
Yeah,
that's just
and that won't change.
No, it'll change as players come back, and we'll get slightly better at defending. But at no point during the manager's tenure has he managed to strike a balance between scoring goals and keeping clean sheets. We've just never had it. It needs fixing, and Semenyo would be a nice. We might have won the Bournemouth game 4-3 because he didn't score this goal, but we might have edged that game.
Yeah, we might
with slightly more attacking quality, but it's not sustainable.
No. Do we need to talk about any more of the goals from the last two games?
We could talk about the debutants.
It was good to see. We've talked a lot about it.
Fletcher come on. I mean, it was sort of at the point of if they don't come on in this game, they'll never come on.
Yeah, which we were already nearly
at. Thought we were at that point
after the Wolves game, but he had to bring them on, and he did. Yes. So, fair play to him on that. And bringing them both on is something. Shea Lacey had that shot from edge of the box, which
caught it well. Probably
it would have been amazing, obviously, if he'd scored that. But
Cunha should have passed to him. He was delaying the pass, and then it fell to him, and he got a shot off. But if he'd have passed it to him, he might have been able to take a better chance.
Yeah.
Tyler Fletcher. Jack Fletcher.
Okay.
Sorry.
It's easily done.
Jack Fletcher became the second father and son pair to play for Manchester United. You won't. You don't know them. I know them.
But you didn't know their dad played for United?
No, I've never heard of either of them.
Oh, okay. But you know the answer.
I do know the answer now. I looked it up.
Okay. Any clue that? Do you think there's no chance that?
No, you definitely won't guess it.
Okay, you just tell me then.
It's John Aston Senior and John Aston Jr.,
Oh, right.
who
Is that
played.
John Aston Senior who won the 1948 FA Cup? I would have got that. I don't know
You
all
wouldn't
about
have
it.
got that, and now it's obviously we had to double check.
I
Ruined.
think his son actually was famously man of the match in the 1968 European
Wow.
Cup final.
Yeah, so it's the second father in some pairs, but if you know,
We were talking about Dostoevsky earlier.
Russian dissident. So good to see him get on. He's been knocking on the door for a while,
Yeah.
in and out. I think he's a good player. He's very highly rated within the club, and he plays in a position that we don't have a dearth of quality in midfield. So I'd like to see more opportunities for him.
Yeah.
Lacey's the big one. Lacey's he's had a really tough time in the last few years with injuries, and he's probably would have made his debut earlier.
Yeah.
But he's rightfully been protected and kept at junior level. Not that making your senior debut at 18 is late, but
No.
I think he was
He could have made it.
He could have made it earlier, but he's they've looked after him and they've brought him in at the right time. Well, that not that bringing him in early would have been wrong, but this is a good time for him to come in and show his quality. And I don't think it's out of the question that he does something in this team this season. He's got so much quality, and again, a position that we do have a lot of forwards, but we've got a month now where we're missing 2 key forwards.
Yeah,
and
we might be missing Fernandez as well.
Yeah, so there's every chance that he gets a few more minutes, and I back him to take his chance. He's a really good player.
Yeah, and it was slightly out of necessity, but it's good to see that he has finally given some debuts out. And it was annoying because yesterday should have been the first time an academy graduate started a league game this season.
Yeah,
but Mainu was injured. And now, if Bruno's injured as well, you would expect Mainu to get a lot of minutes. But if he's injured, it's just so annoying.
I think they reckon Bruno's is worse than Mainu's. There was a brief that Mainu's wasn't too bad. He's probably going to miss Newcastle, but he might not miss any more. Bruno's, they don't know. They think it might be another few weeks. But
the fact that he played on for a bit and nearly scored after he pulled his hamstring shows that it's probably not going to be a long time.
Any brief we've had about Bruno injuries before, he's played the next game. So we will see. I don't think that's the case this time.
Because he's missed 3 games at United through injury or illness.
Yes.
But surely part of that is good luck. Surely he's not just uninjurable.
Well, there is definitely a physiological aspect.
Yeah. But it can't.
I mean, you could break your leg, like you know.
But can he?
Yes.
If he broke his leg, would he just be back the next
He's
game?
not Bert Troutman, he's a good player. He's a very hardy, resilient player.
Yeah.
But
he's probably played on through injuries that other players wouldn't at times.
Yeah. I don't fancy he'll be out for too long. Because he will put a lot of hard work into getting back and will defy orders to maybe rest. And he was a very dedicated servant.
Yeah. But any length of time for him being out is
unusual.
Shock to the system, really.
We'll see. We will miss him. He was so good against Bournemouth.
It was one of them talismanic Bruno performances that we don't get as much as we did, particularly sort of under Solskjaer. It seemed to be every week he would score from outside the box and make things happen constantly.
Guardiola was talking this week about Cherky, about how maybe, I mean, it's sort of, it's like the hot dog guy meme where he's talking about, modern football now, all these managers, they overthink and they want players to be so specific, and Cherky's really good at scoring and passing, so I just think he should play near the goal, and it can be a simple thing like that. But that was Pep.
What's that got to do with hot dogs?
Not seen the hot dog guy?
I don't think so.
Meme. It's from I Think You Should Leave, which is a sketch show, and there's someone crashes a hot dog shaped car into a shop, and they're all standing around like, trying to work out who's done it, and there's a guy dressed as a hot dog, and he's like, we're just trying to find out who's crashed this car.
Okay.
And it's very clearly his car because he's dressed as a hot dog.
Yeah, got you.
But Pep's the one who has, caused this endemic of managers playing, over prescribing players.
Yeah.
And, Bruno's really good, and I've long been an advocate of playing him closer to the goal, and he looks really good when he plays close to the goal. That free kick against Bournemouth was, I think it was psychological. It wasn't bad prediction, but I said he's not going to score. He's just not going to score. I know he's not going to score because I wanted him to score really badly,
deep down
I knew
he
he
would score.
Yeah, but,
so you were counteracting that.
Yeah, but I was saying,
you were saying to yourself,
yeah, I was, because then you're not disappointed when he doesn't score, and you go, I knew he wouldn't score. That's fine.
Yeah,
but I knew he would.
Because I was thinking he has to score this. This is the chance to get us back in the game. If he scores this, I think we'll win the game. If he doesn't, I think we'll lose the game. Yeah. And it turned out he did score it, and we drew the game. But
yeah, how did we not win that game, man? I mean, it was so flat after the fourth goal. We couldn't go again. We'd used all of our energy to get 4-3 up.
From 3-2 down to 4-3. That should be it then.
Yeah.
I mean, for one, there shouldn't be enough time.
Yes.
But it was we were never gonna
go again
after they'd already pegged us back 3 times. We're not gonna this time they won't peg us back when we take the lead. It was just we had our chance to win that game from that position, and
it was like
couldn't hold on.
A cup game. If it goes to if it went to extra time, then
that's when you go again.
That's when you get a chance to go again. But it was sort of we both just played out till the end of the game.
Yeah,
which again goes into the. I don't think it is an example of the side not having that desperation to win, which I do think is an issue.
I think they used up all of the desperation to win.
They showed in that game drive and quality, and it ran out before the end of the game.
Yeah, I don't conceding 4 goals.
Yeah,
like no one. It's once in a blue moon that a team will win 5-4.
Yes,
4-4 seems to be much more common because once it gets to 4-4, it's like let's just shake hands.
And I think that's probably. I think it's even rarer if you count only games that go to 4-4 and then a team wins 5-4.
Yeah.
If because there's not that many games where a team scores 5 and then gets pegged back to 5-4. But if you exclude those, then games.
City won 5-4, didn't they?
Against Fulham.
Fulham, that was 5-1 and then back to 5-4.
Yeah, that doesn't count.
No.
This to win 5-4 in a game like this is a mental feat that we didn't seem capable of at that time, and that's it's not the biggest sin this United team will commit. Not being able to win that game 5-4.
Yeah.
Not winning it 4-3 is a much bigger sin.
Yeah. And like I say, I could have seen that game as what an enjoyable game that was. No team deserved to lose. If we'd have beaten Everton and West Ham at home.
Yeah.
But we had to win it because we didn't, and then we didn't.
Yeah. I said the person I went with, it was their first time at Old Trafford to see a game, and I was like, wow, 7 goals. I can't believe you're so lucky to see 7 goals on your first time here.
It's amazing.
And then 8 goals. I was like, God, I can't believe you've seen 8 goals. What a waste. We're
so much happier when you'd only seen 7 goals.
I know the number of goals on itself was remarkable, but there's diminishing returns there.
Yeah. But I don't think I've ever been at a United game with 8 goals before. I can't.
No, I don't know. I can't think of one.
The 8-2 against Arsenal was the season before we got season tickets.
Yeah.
That was 10 goals. That's one of the highest scoring games in Premier League history.
Yeah. Was there a 7-5?
7-4 is the record. Portsmouth, Reading.
No, that's the one I was thinking.
Then there's a few 10 goals. There's, I think Arsenal beat Newcastle 7-3.
Yeah.
There's a 9-1 in the 90s, I think, maybe.
Yeah. A couple of 9-0s.
Yeah.
But 8's sort of...
8 is right up there.
Right up there.
But I don't think I've ever seen it before.
No, me neither.
It's just a shame we didn't win the game.
I know, it was galling.
Yeah.
Thankfully, we didn't lose the game. There was again, it's one of those stats that is sort of meaningless just by virtue of we used to be ahead at half. It's the halftime stat where we've not since the 84 or something season.
Yeah.
So last time we were winning at halftime Old Trafford in the league and lost the game.
Yeah.
Which there is a lot of caveats in that. It's at Old Trafford only and in the league. But it's a remarkable record. It
depends how you word it, how convoluted the stat sounds. There's if you say it concise enough, it sounds that's amazing. But
there's the function that the worse you are as a team, the less likely it is for you to be ahead at half time.
Yeah.
So it's not that. I think we have also. It's become less often that we add to the stat.
Yeah.
Whilst not losing the stat as well.
Yeah.
But this was a prime candidate.
Yeah, we went behind 5 minutes after the start of the second half, so it could have
easily ended up as a loss. And Lammers made 2 big saves in injury time.
Yeah, they looked more like getting that 5th goal, which would have been awful to see them score a late winner to win 5-4.
That would have been down there with Old Trafford days to forget. I think,
and it's a very different feeling to losing 5-0 or whatever.
Even losing 3-0,
the
like
instant sort of just gutted and
Yeah.
flat feeling that you feel like if you get absolutely battered, you have time during the game to get used to it.
yeah, it's good.
But-
You know, to start ignoring the game
Yeah,
and going on
yeah.
your phone.
If you concede the late goal, we did concede the late goal to make it 4-4, so I was already absolutely gutted by that.
Yeah.
If they'd have
What was the
got
last
that extra
late
goal.
winner we conceded at Old Trafford?
Oof.
It's not been a while. Not been for a while. We
I
usually
don't
just
know.
get battered.
yeah.
I
don't
wasn't.
know.
I mean, the
West
West Ham late equaliser, the Bournemouth late equaliser. There's a few. It's like I've said a couple of times, and I've sort of paraphrased it and lifted it from Twitter. But we're never out of games because of the quality of attackers we have. But the opposition's never out of them either.
Yeah.
You never go into the last 10 minutes and think, right, we've sewn that up. Very, very rarely.
Yeah. No, you don't.
We were 2-0 up at against Sunderland, and
They could have come back.
they didn't really bother.
Yeah.
Bournemouth didn't. No, Bournemouth did score 2. Did Bournemouth come back to nearly win?
Yeah.
Not Bournemouth, sorry. Brighton didn't.
They came back from
Brighton
3-0
came quite,
down to 3-2.
Yeah, Brighton came close, but Sunderland didn't really bother. Burnley, I suppose Burnley was the comfortable win where you didn't really see them getting.
No.
Oh, was Burnley?
Burnley was a late penalty to win 3-2.
Oh yeah, that's something. Yeah. So yeah, we've not had a comfortable win in a long time.
No, not this season.
And
Certainly.
certainly at Old Trafford, where
Yeah.
you know, that's what your season should be built on, is a decent number of comfortable
Yeah.
wins at home.
2 and 3-0 wins, they for a team like United should be bread and butter. But I would never be confident at two goals up for United in a million years.
No, because like I say, one attack and they score, and it doesn't have to be. It's not a sustained attack. It's not. They've been knocking on the door. That's been coming. It's been Bournemouth have
half-decent
decided to
attack.
do something,
Yeah.
and they've done it. And they've scored.
Yeah.
And I wasn't like Villa. Any team that's in half decent form in front of goal is going to score goals against us. And Villa, are in very good form in front of goal. They're scoring, as people like to point out, they're scoring well above their XG at the moment. They were always going to score.
Yeah.
And with the forwards we had, we were going to struggle to score more than one. So, we did play well for periods in that game. We were fine, but when you've got your forwards are out and you need to be able to be more resilient than we were, and we just didn't. We just don't have it in us.
Yeah. When every game is like on a knife edge and could go either way, it's up until the end of the game, you could no matter how we play, we could win the game or we could lose the game.
Yeah.
And we've seen the last 2 games where we played better, played quite well, I would say, generally, and we've not won either of them.
Yeah.
There've been games where we played a lot worse than that and won, like Crystal Palace away. Don't think we were great in that game, but we managed to get the win, and that's the way it's going to be while we continue to have close games every single time.
Yeah. It's not boring as a United fan at the moment.
Not, no.
It's probably putting years on us watching these games, because you never relax. You never sink into a game and think, right, well, we'll enjoy the second half. I mean, Wolves, once we went 3-1 up,
Yeah,
it was probably
I
done.
suppose I was confident with that 2-goal lead.
Yeah, 2-1 it was. I mean, they were awful, but 1-1 and 2-1, I wasn't like, this game's won now. I could very easily see that.
They equalised once, they could do it
at the
again. Yeah.
But 3-1, then you can sort of relax. But there's not anywhere near enough of those games.
Well, and Wolves are an anomaly.
Yes,
Wolves are not comparable
extraordinarily
to any other
bad.
team we're going to play. Should we have a look at how the table looks at Christmas?
Yeah, so it's usually got like crackers, knives and forks, maybe a candle in the middle, a runner, that sort of thing. Wreath, maybe.
Yeah.
A garland, sorry.
I'm in the Premier League table.
Hey!
We'll cut that.
That's gold. Yeah, it's interesting one. The title race is well and truly alive, which not many people saw coming a few weeks ago.
Yeah. Arsenal are top at Christmas.
Yes.
Isn't
there? There's not Christmas Eve games now.
No. Which a lot of the time, the team that's top at Christmas does win it. I think.
Yeah.
I don't know the number, but it's certainly in recent seasons. It's
the team at the top of the table either wins the league or is Arsenal. I think there's three seasons where they haven't won the league, and all three it's Arsenal.
Yeah, something like that. It's generally a quite good indicator.
Yeah,
but it's hard to say with Arsenal. They seem like they've peaked, and now they're holding on, and they're still winning games.
Yeah.
But they're not playing as well as what they were.
And I think maybe earlier in the season, a lot of that confidence came from City not quite being at the races.
Yeah.
City now look very much at the races. City are more reliably winning games. They're scoring more goals. They are putting teams away quicker and easier.
They made light work of West Ham at home, which
not everyone can.
Nah.
So yeah, they've got a real race on their hands, Arsenal, and I don't think that's what they wanted. I think they would have liked to at least get a few weeks further down the line, being 10 points clear.
Yeah.
But like you say, they're still winning games. They've not dropped off the top of the table at any point. So
are they still the favourites? Is it theirs to lose, or is it theirs to win?
I think it's theirs to win, but I think it's also City's to win. It's not.
It's up for grabs.
Yeah, it's up for grabs, and there's no. I don't think either of them are ahead of each other comfortably in terms of being the favourite.
Yeah.
Villa are also up there.
Yeah.
And could supply, if those two, falter, I don't fancy Villa to pick up as many points as them over the rest of the season, but someone's got to do it. Someone's got to be in third.
Yeah. I don't know. With Villa, they're right up there, and points-wise, there's no reason they shouldn't be in the title race.
Yeah.
Or there's no reason to say they're not in the title race. And on the overlap fan debate, the Villa fan was annoyed about how they're not being treated equally as title contenders. But they're not going to win the league, are they? Surely. I mean, this could come back to bite me, but they're not ready to win the league.
No,
and
I wouldn't
they're
have
up there
thought so.
now, but surely they won't be able to sustain that, which is fine. It's not. They shouldn't be expected to win the league.
No,
they should be getting back in the Champions
win the league.
So they're doing really well, but surely they're not a realistic contender for the title with Arsenal and City.
No, and whether you like the data or not, there is, I think even to the eye, there is an air of unsustainability about the Villa performances at the moment.
Yeah.
They're scoring worldies.
Yeah, you look at the winner against West Ham from Morgan Rogers and
the 2 goals against United were
particularly
both,
the first one.
like, they're not creating a load of great chances every game.
No, which is why Ollie Watkins has only got 3 league goals.
People say no one's beaten XG, and that's sort of true, but it's only true until someone does it.
Yeah.
The model isn't infallible.
Yeah.
There are certain things it doesn't account for. There was an interesting piece from some Twitter account that said there have been a couple of teams that have massively overperformed XG. There's Sean Dyche's Burnley, which managed it they did it by their XG conceded, but that's because they were very comfortable conceding shots, and the model doesn't take into account opposition position as much when conceding shots. So if you block a load of shots or deflect a load of shots away from goal, you can get up a load of XG and concede a load of XG without ever really being under that much threat.
Like a team could have 100 shots from 40 yards out, and that would add up to 1 on XG if they were all 0.01.
Yes, yeah.
Which is a golden chance, so it should seem like they should have scored a goal. But really, if they're just having loads of shots from unlikely places.
Yeah, and packing the box means that even a chance that's, sort of 12 yards out, there might be 4 players between you and the goal, and it's not a clear-cut chance.
Yeah.
But the models don't always take that into account. The other team doing it was Spurs under Pochettino. They massively overperformed goals because they had Kane and Son, and not just because they were lethal finishers. They were lethal finishers, but also they're lethal on their weak foot and take a lot of shots with their weak foot, and the models don't really account for that very well.
Son was always a big overperformer of XG.
Again, because of a lot of them are weak foot shots, but he's quite a evenly balanced player.
Yeah.
So the models aren't perfect, and Villa have, good players at scoring on shots, and if you have players who are good at scoring long shots and a good goalkeeper, you can outperform the model quite well, and that's
what they're doing.
That's what they're doing. Will there be a regression, or will the model have to learn? We don't know, but watching them, it does feel like this might dry up, and then they might go back to, they're not the most solid defensively team. They've had runs of poor form this season itself, so we may see them fall away.
I think they'll do well. I think
I think
it's
top 4
hard
for
to
them
say-
is good.
Yeah, yeah,
They would
absolutely.
take that.
Given that they didn't get it last year,
Yeah.
they'd be happy with getting in the Champions League, and then maybe look to mount a title challenge because that's the trajectory they're on.
Yeah. But we'll see.
Wolves bottom at Christmas,
Wolves bottom at
which is
Christmas.
often an omen as well, and I certainly don't think it's
Yeah.
one that they will beat.
They are they're dead bottom as well.
Yeah.
Are they lower than? Are they the lowest points total ever at Christmas?
It's after this many games, it's the lowest. Sheffield United had the
Hadn't-
same at Christmas, but they'd played fewer games.
Fair enough. Yeah, so they are right down there, sort of historically as well.
Yeah.
They look. When we played them, they look really poor. They look like they might sell Strand Larsen.
Yeah, to West Ham.
Just to cash in because he's going to be worth less in the summer, and they're definitely going down.
Yeah.
It'll be, they've had a good run in the Prem. They've been.
Yeah.
They've not. No one sort of beats the system of selling you good players every year. For that long.
Yeah.
It always sort of catches up with you. And Wolves managed it for quite a while and managed to maintain a decent squad for years whilst also selling good players. Seems they've run out.
They sold quite a few players this summer, and their recruitment wasn't good at the same time. So they've got a lot worse for that reason. Yeah,
and that's the risk of cycling the squad. It has to work, and you have to be able to reliably replace players.
And if it's one in, one out every summer, you sell one big first team player for a lot of money, and then you replace them with a couple of players for less money.
Yeah,
if you're doing that once at a time,
you're mitigating the risk.
But they've sort of all added up to this summer, and none of their signings have particularly worked.
So they look like they're done.
Yeah.
I think I don't think anyone's putting money on them to stay up.
No, I assume they'll keep Edwards and give him the tools to get them back up because he's done that. Yeah. He would have got Middlesbrough up, you think, and he got Luton up. So
yeah,
he's got a good record in the Championship. So you'd think he would.
Yeah, I can't see any point in getting him and sacking him in the summer.
For not keeping them up when that would have been a very difficult job for anyone.
Leeds look like they've turned a bit of a corner.
Do, yeah.
They're flying a bit at the moment.
And West Ham look like they haven't. So Leeds, there's definitely
West Ham, they've turned maybe like 15 degrees around a corner since Potter left. They've fixed. They don't concede every corner they have, but they haven't really improved drastically.
Is that corner is in the set piece, not the
corner they've turned.
Yeah.
No, they haven't improved dramatically in any of their areas.
No,
they are probably best equipped to do something in the window.
Yeah.
Wolves recruited poorly, but did recruit in the summer. West Ham have probably got a few more pieces to move around.
Yeah.
And so may be able to do something if they bring in a forward. But they are uniquely dreadful at signing forwards. They've signed 2 good forwards in 15 years, maybe.
Yeah, they do. I don't really know what it is about them, but every single striker they sign just becomes really bad.
The news today that Fulkrug's going to Milan on loan.
Yeah,
because
he's not worked.
He's not worked at all. He looks overweight. He looks a yard off the pace.
Yeah, and it looks like Strand Larsen will be the next one. He was a good. He
played well last season. Yeah.
I don't know, 15 goals in the league last season, which is really good. Nearly got a big money move to Newcastle.
Yeah, and
then I don't even know if he scored in the league this season. I think he scored a couple in the League Cup, but
I don't think he scored in the league. No.
So that's not.
Wolves
it's
have massively deteriorated.
Yeah.
Lots of other players have gotten a lot worse as well.
Yeah, but it's very possible that he doesn't.
No.
That he's another in a long line of poor strikers at West Ham.
Yeah, I don't think they'll get the fee that they would have got in the summer for him. They might get their 20 million back that they paid for him, but we'll see.
It's interesting now with the relegation because Leeds have started picking up results. They've 4 unbeaten, I think, now in the league.
Yeah.
It just seems alien to me that West Ham would go down under Nuno.
Yeah.
But someone's got to. And if Leeds keep this up, I think Burnley will go down.
Yeah, unless they can figure something out like Leeds have. But they might be a little too late for them.
But Leeds are looking, and this we'll have a much clearer picture of this after sort of the middle of January. But Leeds are looking good at the minute. They look capable of staying up.
Yeah.
So, and West Ham do look capable of going down. I think Forest will stay up. I just think Sean Dyche will do enough.
Yeah, and they've got quality players.
Yeah.
More so than West Ham and Leeds.
So maybe West Ham will go down. Which
maybe.
Would be
Can you imagine having
odd.
That stadium in the Championship?
I know. They've
been
been
even more awful.
Yeah, they've been up a long time. They used to, came up and down a couple of times, but they've been in the Premier League quite a long time now. So it will be very odd to see them go down.
It would be nice to get. There's, if you look at the top of the Championship, there's some new blood coming up.
Yeah. Ipswich are the only one of the three who went down who were right up there.
Yeah. Coventry coming up would be nice. They've not been up for a long time.
And it's not. I can't say for sure, but they look good. They look like they will be in the automatic promotion. I think from where they are now, it would be a failure if they didn't make the automatics.
Borough haven't been up for a long time.
Yeah.
Stoke are looking okay.
Stoke have kept been up for a while.
I think they've kept the most clean sheets in the league. So it would be good to. I wouldn't mind. A couple of stalwarts like West Ham and Wolves going down and some new blood coming in.
Yeah, they've all been in the Premier League before, them three, Coventry, Middlesbrough and Stoke, but none of them for a while. I think Preston are the most likely. They're in the playoffs currently, so they'd be the most likely, probably, who've never been in the Premier League. But they're always in the playoffs for a few weeks of the season, and they never get promoted, so it'd be foolish to predict them to do that.
But we'll keep an eye on that. It's what we wanted at the start of the season was a relegation battle and a title race. And we look like we might have both. So
we're not in either.
No.
Which last season we were sort of in one. If there was a relegation battle last season, we would have been in it.
Yes.
So
we'll see what happens. I think from United's point of view, we will remain 1 or 2 wins away from the top 4 for the whole season. Yeah,
it seems like every single game. If we win this, we'll be in 5th, and we'll be level on points with Chelsea in 4th. And then we don't win it. Yeah. And then Chelsea don't win. And then we're in the same boat.
Yeah. Or Chelsea win and then we win. It's very frustrating. And it speaks to the unsustainability of this United side where we're just we're not good enough to put any doubts to bed, but we're not bad enough to need to fix anything.
Yeah.
Some people would say we do need to fix something. And the club need to be bold, but we're not. We're not anywhere near as bad as we were last season.
Yeah, we're not in a position currently where you say the manager needs to be sacked.
No, we're just sort of going along at a level. So.
The manager needs to do a bit better, but he's not doing awful. It's just we're just fine.
And we'll see what happens in the window as well, I think.
Yeah.
Again, you don't want to gamble and put the house on getting in the top 4.
No, but I certainly wouldn't.
We're a couple of wins away from getting the top 4, and a player could be the difference.
Yeah.
We've seen players add points. We've seen players come in January and make a big difference. So maybe if the right opportunity opens up there, they will do something.
Yeah.
And we'll see.
2 games between Christmas and New Year.
Yeah.
Both at home.
Yeah. Where are they? What's the second one?
Wolves on the 30th of December.
Yes, I remember.
Remember the 30th of December.
We won't do an episode between.
I don't think
we're away
so.
And then
no, we're at home for birthday. Said
that. But 2 again
games
that if we have any illusions of being higher up the table than where we are, we should win both.
Yeah, I mean we're talking about them like they're the same level.
Yes.
Wolves at home. There is no excuse in the world for not winning that game.
That is probably in the history of the Premier League. That is the most winnable game you should ever see. If you're looking at points totals, the worst team in the history of the Premier League at home is the game.
That's the game you'd pick.
Yes, I don't know.
If you were backing us to get 3 points in any game, it would be that one.
It would have been more of a big deal if we didn't beat Derby at home. So I'm going to say we definitely beat Derby at home that season, but they got 11 points. So
we must have done.
So we definitely beat Wolves. We have to beat Wolves at home.
Sheffield United at home, was that the season that they beat
were
us?
The lowest? Yeah, was that not like the last time that... were we not top of the league?
Yeah,
and
but
that was just a different time they were bottom of the league. It wasn't the worst team ever.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
That makes sense.
I think that was the first and only time that the team top of the league going into the game has lost to the team bottom of the league going into the game.
I mean, Arsenal and Wolves nearly...
Arsenal
needed a late winner to do it. But,
I'm pretty sure we beat the worst Sheffield United team at home.
We'll call the Wolves game... I mean, it's very similar preview-wise to the away game in that... whether you're at home or away, it shouldn't matter. You have to win that game.
Yeah. Whether we've got loads of injuries and players at AFCON, it doesn't matter.
Newcastle's a different beast. Newcastle are a good side, and they have started winning games.
Yeah, they're better than they've shown this season.
Yeah.
They were very poor against Sunderland away, and they have been poor away from home generally. Mainly when they've played a Champions League game in midweek, which they won't have done before they play us, but they will have had Christmas Day the day before, so they could have a hangover from that.
Yeah.
You know?
There's also definitely they're in a transitional period between a team that beats the team better than them by countering and being a team that, when you can't counter, can reliably win those games.
Yeah, you go toe to toe with the teams at the top.
I think they'll probably just counter and try and let us have the ball.
Yeah, and
Villa let us have the ball, and we proved that we're not going to do that much dangerous stuff with it. I think Newcastle will see that as an archetype and try and do it.
And they'll probably get a lot of joy.
They'll
probably score.
They'll definitely score. I would never predict United to get a clean
Not
sheet.
even against Wolves.
No.
We didn't get a clean sheet at their place.
We're going to be missing some key midfielders, we think. Bruno and Kobu. We don't know the extent of their injuries, but they're both probably going to miss the Bournemouth, the Newcastle game.
Casemiro will be back because he was suspended. So is that Casemiro and Ugarte? Surely not. Casemiro and Mount? Maybe. But then have we got three players to play out of them?
Yeah, we've got the front. Well, yeah.
Cunha, Sesko.
And Lacey starts, maybe. Big game to start at home. Well, maybe, we don't know. Someone unusual is going to have to play in some position. Maybe it's Lisandro Martinez in midfield.
Yeah, so Casemiro and Martinez.
Maybe. With Mount, Cunha and Sesko in front.
Yeah, that could be the most likely. But we need Martinez at centre back. As well. A lot's been made of Martinez in centre midfield against Aston Villa. Yeah. He came on for about half an hour when they were winning and letting us have a lot of the ball.
Yeah.
He did play well.
Yeah.
But I don't think you can take too much from that in. No. He's the answer in midfield. We should be playing him in midfield.
That against that Aston Villa side, who were happy with us having the ball, is a very different beast to a very combative Newcastle side.
Midfield, yes.
With their midfield is aggressive and wins fouls and
Casemiro loves to give fouls away. So.
Yeah, I would fancy if those two started midfield. I would fancy at least a booking for each of them.
Yeah, per half.
Yes, we'll see. It's gonna, it's time for the manager to, earn his money.
Yeah.
He's got to find solutions to problems that we haven't had. So we don't play a lot of midfielders. So we've not had a shortage of midfield. He's going to have to think of something, and
that's why we pay him the big bucks.
There isn't a huge dearth of evidence that he is capable of finding creative solutions to problems.
Yeah,
but we'll see. I think he's been trying to get more in midfield, either by playing fullbacks in the back three to try and get the ball into midfield quicker. That seems to be a strategy, allowing Ahmad to play basically as a right midfielder. He's been trying things to sort of to try and just change the picture a little bit.
We did ask that of him when he wasn't trying new things.
And it's looked okay. It looked okay against Bournemouth. It looked okay against Villa. It hasn't borne results yet, but this may be a game where he thinks just back to first principles and just try and, not time to get out your little checkerboard with your little magnetic tokens on and just play players where they're expecting to play. But maybe it's speaks to a cowardice to not try that in a game like this, to not try and outthink the opposition and just go back to basics. And maybe it will. Maybe he should be bolder. Maybe it is time to try something innovative and try and outthink. Eddie Howe's a good manager. He's not a genius manager. He's a pretty meat and potatoes manager who plays players where they expect to play, and there is room for creative solutions that it'll be interesting to see what he tries.
Yeah, we've said this a lot of times. Our next 4 games, not this specifically, this kind of thing. Our next 4 games are Newcastle at home, Wolves at home, and then Burnley and Leeds away.
Yeah. Should win them.
Let's go and win all 4 of them.
Yeah.
Why can't we?
We absolutely can. I mean,
we absolutely won't.
We definitely won't get 12 points.
No, I think we'll probably get 7.
Yeah, and that's sort of where we are at the moment. We're slightly above half, and that's. I mean,
so that's 8th place.
Oh, it is possible to get 7. I was like, is there a way to get 7?
Yeah, 2 wins, a draw, and a loss.
Yeah, and if you're looking at the games, it's probably going to be a loss to start.
Yeah, and
If
then
you're looking
2
at
wins
like
and then draw at Leeds away. So yeah,
We'll
not
see.
sure when we'll do the next episode, but keep an eye out.
Yeah.
Um,
We do have a special bonus episode coming out
yeah,
short. So I think this will probably go out on Tuesday, the 23rd, and then on the 26th, we should have something special coming for you.
festive special quiz. Is it more like? I mean, most of you listening will know what we're talking about. Our sister podcast, Oh Brother.
Yeah.
Would you say the quiz episode is more like an episode of their podcast than ours? I think I would.
Yeah.
But then there are certain questions and stuff about football that their audience probably won't be particularly interested
Yeah.
in.
I think because, should I spoil the? I'm not going to spoil the result of the quiz, but
Yeah.
Terry Christian is on it.
Yeah.
We don't have guests, so I think if there was an O Brother style podcast about football,
Yeah.
it would be that. It would be an episode of that.
Yeah.
But instead, it's like it's always
It's halfway
Yeah,
between
it's
the
half.
two.
I think it's halfway between their podcast and this is too inside baseball. It's halfway between their podcast and that version of our podcast that doesn't exist.
Is it not just an episode of that version of our podcast?
No, I don't think so, because it's got that
Music
wouldn't have
stuff.
any music
Yeah,
stuff.
okay.
But yeah, I think it's good.
Yeah, give
and
it a listen.
You'll enjoy it.
You specifically.
And maybe we'll win, maybe we'll lose. We know, but
We know
It's-
we'll win.
well, we know we will win if we were to say this before we recorded it.
Yeah.
But maybe we didn't.
Yeah.
Maybe we were caught in our hubris.
Maybe.
But keep an eye out. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Some if you like music and you like football.
Yeah.
This is going to be about 3 seconds of the podcast.
Yeah.
It's like cut all the buttons out.
Well, listen to that after you've listened to this.
Yeah.
And have a Merry Christmas. Enjoy the wine and a mince pie. And
Yes.
we'll see you out there.
Thank the saxophone lady.